Ferrari is not arriving in Miami to make up the numbers. The team is bringing the biggest upgrade package of the 2026 season so far, and the work that has gone into it behind the scenes is extraordinary.
Fred Vasseur has called it a package and a half, and when you look at what is actually coming, that description barely does it justice. The SF26 that lines up on the Miami grid will look and perform differently to the car that finished the Japanese Grand Prix. Almost half of the car is being changed. New floor, revised rear wing, updated front wing, and a completely reworked software system for the power unit. Ferrari is spending the entire April break pushing its engineers and technicians to their limits, and the results of that work will be on full display in Miami. But before any of those parts go near a race circuit, Ferrari has one more critical step to complete. On Wednesday, the 22nd of April, the team will head to Monza for a filming day. That means 200 kilometers of running on track, using the long straights and demanding energy recovery characteristics of the Italian circuit to validate everything they have built. If the new parts perform as expected in those 200 kilometers, they go straight onto the cars for Miami. If something is not right, the engineers still have time to make adjustments. This test is not a formality. It is the final checkpoint before one of the most important race weekends of Ferrari's season. The centerpiece of the aerodynamic package is the return of the Macarena rear wing. This is the innovative design that caused so much excitement earlier in the year, where the flap physically moves and rotates when the driver activates DRS. The concept is brilliant in theory because it allows the car to generate strong downforce through the corners while dramatically cutting drag on the straights. The problem in China was that the wing made the car unstable under braking, and the team was forced to remove it before the race. Ferrari's engineers have spent weeks addressing exactly those issues. The new version is lighter, more reliable, and the activation mechanism has been refined to operate more consistently. Paddock sources suggest the revised wing could deliver a performance gain equivalent to around 6 kilowatts of additional power. In Formula One, that is a meaningful step forward, particularly on a circuit like Miami, where straight-line speed plays a significant role in lap time and overtaking opportunities. The team is confident this time the wing will stay on the car. Alongside the Macarena wing, Ferrari is introducing a new floor design. The floor is the single most important aerodynamic component on a modern Formula One car. It generates the majority of the downforce that keeps the car planted to the road. The new floor has been developed with a dual objective: more downforce through the corners and less drag on the straights. If those two goals can be achieved simultaneously, the SF26 will be a fundamentally faster car in Miami than it was in Japan.
There are also upgrades to the front wing and to the area around to the rear of the car that Ferrari engineers refer to as the flick tail mode zone.
Several components are being made lighter without changing their shape, which contributes to overall efficiency without requiring a complete redesign. Every gram saved and every small aerodynamic improvement adds up across a full race distance. Ferrari is leaving nothing on the table, and the scale of this package reflects just how seriously the team is taking the challenge ahead. But the aerodynamic upgrades are only one part of the story. Ferrari's biggest weakness compared to Mercedes right now is the power unit, and the team is tackling that problem in two separate phases. The first phase arrives in Miami. Ferrari's engine and electronics departments have been working around the clock on a heavily revised software package for the power unit. This new software changes how electrical energy is harvested and deployed throughout the lap. The current system has been causing Leclerc and Hamilton to suffer significant performance losses at the end of straights due to extreme clipping, where the car runs out of electrical energy at the worst possible moment. The new algorithms are designed to prevent that from happening. They manage the energy flow more intelligently across the entire lap, so the drivers have power available when they need it most.
That's exactly why the Monza filming day on April 22nd is just so important.
The long straights at Monza replicate the kind of energy demands the car will face in Miami. Running the new software on track before the race weekend gives the engineers real data to work with, rather than relying purely on simulator results. If the numbers from Monza match what the computers predicted, Ferrari will arrive in Florida with genuine confidence in the new system. If the data does not match, they still have a few days to make corrections before the cars are shipped to America. This software update alone will not close the full gap to Mercedes, but it will make the SF26 more predictable and easier to drive at the limit, which matters enormously for both qualifying pace and race performance. Lewis Hamilton has spoken openly about his frustration with the energy management issues. He said there are things he simply does not understand yet about how the car behaves at certain points of the lap. A more intelligent software system could be the answer to many of those questions, and it would allow both drivers to push harder without the fear of suddenly losing power at the wrong moment. The second phase is where things get really interesting. Ferrari expects to qualify for the FIA's ADUO program, which stands for Additional Development and Upgrade Opportunities. This program exists specifically to help teams whose power units are running significantly behind the benchmark. Ferrari's engine is expected to be found more than 2% down on Mercedes, which would give them access to additional development funding and the ability to introduce a new internal combustion engine later in the season. Under the current regulations, ADUO upgrades can only be introduced after the 6th race of the season. With Bahrain and Saudi Arabia cancelled, that 6th race now points to the Spanish Grand Prix in Barcelona. Ferrari could therefore arrive in Spain with a brand new engine specification developed under relaxed spending rules, specifically designed to close the gap to Mercedes. The FIA is expected to confirm the exact timeline at a meeting next week, but the direction is clear. Miami gets the software fix, and Barcelona could get an entirely new engine.
The team behind the car is also changing. Loic Serra has been welcoming a series of new engineers to Maranello during the Easter break.
Cedric Grosjean and Guillaume Desertou have joined the technical staff, working closely with Aerodynamics director Diego Tondi. Former Sauber engineer Frank Sanchez has also been at the factory for several months, contributing to the development of the new parts heading to Miami. Enrico Gualtieri is overseeing the power unit program, and the head of the engine department recently turned down an approach from Audi to stay at Ferrari and work on the project that Vasseur is building. That last detail says something important about the belief inside Maranello right now. People are choosing to stay. New talent is arriving. The development process has been restructured so that new parts can be validated and introduced faster than in previous seasons. Aerodynamics director Diego Tondi can now test new components in simulations and get results to Vasseur and Serra quickly, with production approval following almost immediately if the data looks good. Compare that to 2023 and 2024, when Ferrari's development pace was one of the biggest criticisms of the team. The internal structure has genuinely changed, and the results of that change are about to show up on track. The competitive picture heading into Miami is clear. Mercedes will also arrive with upgrades for the W17. McLaren showed at Suzuka that Oscar Piastri can finish ahead of the Ferraris when the conditions are right. The gap at the front is not enormous, but it is real, and Ferrari knows it. Every team is using the April break to develop new parts, but Ferrari is betting that their package is the most comprehensive and most targeted of all. What Miami represents is not just another race, it is the first genuine test of whether Ferrari's development direction is correct. If the Macarena wing works as planned, if the new floor delivers the numbers from the simulator, and if the software update gives Leclerc and Hamilton cleaner energy throughout the lap, then the second half of the season could look very different to the first 3 races. The Monza filming day on April 22nd will be the first real sign of whether that is actually happening. Fred Vasseur has been clear about what he expects from Miami. He said it is where a new championship begins. Every team will show up with a different car compared to what we saw in Japan. But Ferrari is betting that their car will be more different than most. The Scuderia has the aerodynamic package, the software fix, the new engineering talent, and the promise of a stronger engine on the way. All of those pieces need to come together at the right time, and Miami is where that process starts.
Will the Macarena wing finally deliver what Ferrari has been promising for months now? And can the new software fix the energy problems that have been costing Leclerc and Hamilton lap time all season? I think we'll find out the answers very soon. Drop your predictions in the comments below.